If you don't know these three things and you're in sales, it is costing you money. In this video, I'm going to break down the three universal sales laws you must understand if you want to close more sales and make more money. If you're in sales, you found the right channel. All we do is post awesome free sales content weekly. So if that's of interest to you, please follow, subscribe, like this video, because if not, you'll probably never see me again. There are three universal sales laws that I identify in my book, How to Sell More Better, that once understood will literally change how you view sales. Universal sales law number one, price is only an issue with the perception of lack of value. I'm going to say that one more time. Price is only an issue with the perception of lack of value. Just because something's expensive doesn't make it valuable. And just because something's inexpensive doesn't make it have any less value. Value, just like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder. And the ultimate value to a customer is 100% solely based on their perception. And when someone is making a major purchase, their perception is their reality. People will pay more money just to have a pleasant, better overall experience. It is your job as a salesperson to build as much value as possible, so the price never becomes the objection. And by the way, that doesn't just mean building value in the product that you're selling. That also means building value in you as their salesperson, building value in your process, building value in your place of business, and building value in the very brand that you are representing or selling. And speaking of objections, there are only two types of objections that exist in sales, period. It's either budget or value. It's as simple as that. A customer won't buy because they either don't have enough money and they can't realistically afford the payment, or they just don't see enough value present to justify the purchase. It doesn't matter how much you discount a product or how low you get the payment. If there's not enough perceived value, the customer is not going to buy anyway. It's kind of like winning a lifetime supply of Reese's peanut butter cups, except you're deathly allergic to peanuts. Or you win an all-expense paid trip to Alaska, and you live in Alaska. You must understand what's important to your customer, and the way that you do that is by slowing down the process, taking control, and being a good listener, and doing a thorough needs analysis every single time, no matter what industry of sales that you're in. So again, universal sales law number one, price is only an issue with the perception of lack of value. Universal sales law number two, desperation is the enemy of persuasion. I will say that again. Desperation is the enemy of persuasion. In any negotiation, if there's enough rapport, whomever is most certain will always influence the other person. Desperation has a stench that you can smell from a mile away, and it takes on many forms. Desperation can look like a complete lack of confidence in your product knowledge or process. It can look like an anxious, nervous energy, or it can look like a pushy salesperson trying to force a sale. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever somebody tries to force me to do anything or impose their will on me, it always has the opposite effect. It makes me not want to buy from that person or business, regardless of how good the deal might be. So if I'm being honest, the biggest thing I struggled with when I got into car sales was the fact that I naturally want people to like me. And I thought that if someone felt like I was trying to pressure them or push them into a sale, that they wouldn't like me. For some reason, when I first started, it was very hard for me to ask for the sale without feeling awkward, as silly as that sounds. So I developed something I call the Kansas City Shuffle, aka the Mississippi Sidestep. I learned how to walk that fine line between indifference of attitude and assertiveness. The mindset you should have should be, I could care less if you buy or not, but based on all the information, you'd be absolutely crazy not to. From the beginning of the interaction, I would set the tone with my customers. I'd usually say something like, John, Mary, I'll let you know I do things a little bit different. I'm not going to pressure you at all. My only job is to make best use of your time while you're here and provide you with all the necessary information you need. So when you guys leave here and go home tonight, you have all the facts you need to sit down and make an informed decision and do what's best for your family and your finances whenever the time is right. Fair enough? And what did I do by saying that? A, their walls instantly came crashing down because now there's no pressure. They view me as the consummate professional here to educate them, not pressure them. And B, I've already set the tone that they're not going to buy today. I'm solely trying to provide them with information so that when they go home later tonight, they can sit down and make an informed decision. Now their walls are completely down. They are putty in my hands. Then we go on the test drive, and you know what I'm talking about on the test drive? Everything except the car. My main goal on the test drive is to build as much rapport and learn as much as I possibly can about them. Kids, pets, hobbies, where are they from? Where do they work? Where do they live? Are all the decision makers present? My go-to question to ask on a test drive if they're local was always, hey, let me ask you a question. What's your favorite place to get pizza around here? Not like from a major pizza restaurant chain. I mean like your favorite hometown, family-owned pizzeria. Kind of new to the area. I'd love some recommendations to try. And what's the one thing everybody has in common? Pizza. Now we're forming a bond. We're creating a friendship. Remember, it is much harder to tell a friend no than it is a complete stranger. Then I would always ask a subtle qualifying question after the test drive, right before we go back inside. I'd say something like, so is this a vehicle you could see yourself driving one day? Asking that simple question will give you a very good gauge for where they're at in their decision-making process. Now we go back inside the dealership, and at this point, they absolutely love me. Keep in mind, their guard is still down at this point because I've told them the entire interaction up until now that I'm not going to pressure them or force them to do anything. So then I come back to the desk with the worksheet and I sit down very calm, very confident. I slide the worksheet over and I say, all right, guys, I have some purchase options for you to consider. This number right here is the amount that we're selling our car for. This number right below that is the value we're putting on your car. This number is the payoff amount that you owe, and that very bottom number is the amount financed. Now I need you to do me a favor. Go ahead and circle the monthly investment that best fits your budget and the term that you're most comfortable with. I'm going to go get this thing gassed up for your ride home. Fair enough? And then I hand them the pen and shut up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I call the Kansas City Shuffle. I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to pressure you. Then I build an insane amount of rapport and value, then assertively, confidently, and subtly ask them to buy without them even realizing it. Seriously, I can't tell you how many times I had customers tell me, this is so crazy. We weren't even planning on buying this today. This is so not like us. So again, universal sales law number 2, desperation is the enemy of persuasion. And now universal sales law number 3, the law of averages always wins. Statistically speaking, the more people you talk to, the greater your chance for success. That's it, period. It's all a numbers game. The only question you should be asking yourself is how many people can you physically talk to every day? Specifically in the car industry, today's day and age, there is no excuse whatsoever to not sell at least 20 cars a month minimum, regardless of the size of your dealership or how many salespeople you have on staff. Between the service department, new leads you naturally get in your pipeline, a CRM system that you have access to that allows you to search any previous dealership customer from sales to service, referrals from sold customers, relatives, and anyone you encounter in your day-to-day life, there is literally no excuse not to sell at least 20 cars a month. I don't care. When I was in sales, I talked to everyone, and I mean everyone. The mailman, the lady who works at the 7-Eleven by my house, my youngest daughter's 4th grade teacher, the landscaper I hired to clear some brush, my oldest daughter's volleyball coach, my server at Outback. It's what I call shameless self-promotion. You never know where your next sale or referral is going to come from, so talk to everybody. Oh yeah, and a pro tip, always carry business cards. And I know you've heard the quote before, but it is so true. God helps those who help themselves. And to quote my boy Ted Lasso, the harder you work, the luckier you get. It's simple math. If you know what your closing percentage is, then you also know exactly how many people you need to talk to on a daily basis to hit your personal and financial goals, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 sales a day. So if your closing percentage is right around 25% and you want to sell 2 cars a day, then you need to get in front of 8 people. And that, at its essence, is the law of averages. How many people can you talk to? Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to join us every Monday night at 9 p.m. for our free weekly sales training webinar, where myself and my team of coaches give free sales training, tips, and advice for success, no matter what field of sales you're in. Just click the link down below or head to wrightlightsalestraining.com and fill out the webinar sign-up form at the bottom of our homepage and grab your free seat before it fills up. Thanks for watching.
I had to turn a right light on, had to find my way when the night got long.